Hello and welcome to the TRiUNE Physics, aka Physics Bible. I'm your host, Ep01, and today we are going to explore one of the most fascinating topics in physics, known as temperature and its measurement. In this episode, we will be delving into Introduction to Temperature Measurement. This is the first episode in this series. Now, temperature influences to an extent our daily lives, our daily activity. In this video, we'll delve into the basics of temperature measurement, including definitions, key concepts, and real-life applications. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for the benefit of other students. So let's get started. Imagine a world without heat or cold, no winter, no summer. As we delve into temperature and its measurement, may I remind you that measurement has always been the core factor that determines facts and realities in this world. Without these facts, the world would be filled with injustice and chaos. Lawlessness would have taken the center stage. And right from the beginning of creations, measurement has been the yardstick of all things. So as we delve into temperature and its measurement, recall that temperature is one of the 7 fundamental quantities. Hence, let's remind ourselves of measurement or measuring instruments. What is physics measuring instrument? It is a device used to quantify or express or measure a physical quantity, such as temperature, such as distance, such as velocity, such as time, such as mass, and many more. Let's look at that in Deuteronomy 25:14. Thou shalt not have in thine house diverse measures. Can you see the diverse measures? A great and a small. You must have a constant unit of measurement. That's what the Bible is saying. Hence, physics function based on the SI unit, acceptable globally, which is why if you check all the fundamental quantities, you see that there is a standard unit of measurement. In verse 15, but thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, that is equilibrium, that is equal divisions, equal calibrations, a perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that thy days may be lengthened. Can you see this? In the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. So measuring instrument has been in existence right from the creation of the world, and it has been introduced by God himself, and physics and science have all collapsed into it. Now, the origin of heat and temperature. In Genesis chapter 8 verse 22, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, underline that, and summer is heat, and winter is cold, and day, of course, you know, the sun shineth in the day, and night, the weather is cold, shall not cease. So this was the introduction of temperature and even heat biblically. Now, summer means heat waves. It means higher temperatures. Average high range from 77 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 25 degrees Celsius, to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. Longer days are in the summer. Increased daylight hours, 12 to 16 hours. Then warmer nights. You have that in the summer. Average lows rarely drop below 64 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 18 degrees Celsius. Humidity, higher humidity levels, especially in tropical regions. You can see that during the summer. Then heat waves, prolonged periods of extreme heat can be found in the summer. So this gives us an idea of the upper fixed point, which is the boiling point. Then winter gives us the lower fixed point. Cold snaps. It means lower temperature. Average lows range from negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 30 degrees Celsius, to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 0 degrees Celsius. During winter, we experience shorter days, reduced daylight hours to 8, in between 8 and 10 hours, and then colder nights. Average lows often drop below freezing point, and then dryness, lower humidity levels, especially in polar regions, and then cold snaps, which is prolonged periods of extremely cold temperature. So this gives us an idea of heat and cold. So what is heat by definition in physics? Heat is a measure of the total internal energy of body. Underline that. Heat is a measure of the total internal energy of a body. It is a form of energy that is transferred, underline the word transfer, from one body to another, from one body to another, from one object to another, due to temperature differences. The unit of heat is the joules. Let's look at that in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 11. Again, if two lie together, that is from one body to another, then they have heat, which is a measure of the total internal energy of a body. But how can one be warm alone? A single body cannot transfer heat. You need another body to be able to transfer heat. Hence, this has vindicated the definition of heat in physics. What are the triune components of heat? From that definition, we see internal energy of a body, which is mass. Scripturally, it denotes humans, but in science, it denotes anything that has mass and can occupy space in the form of solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. Then we have number 2, the transfer, which is the movement, which is the motion, distance, or length. Then number 3, we have measurement, temperature differences. Now, let's delve deeper into the main topic of today, temperature. Introduction. By definition, what is temperature? Temperature is the degree, underline that, of hotness or coldness of a body. Can you see this? It is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the molecules of a body. It is also that which determines which way heat will flow when two bodies, underline that, are brought in contact. So the unit of temperature is the degree Celsius or Kelvin or degree Fahrenheit. Let's look at that scripturally. In Revelation chapter 3 verse 15, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold, underline that, coldness, nor hotness of a body. I would that thou wert coldness, or hotness of a body. So then, because thou art lukewarm, which is the average temperature value, the measured point, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. This was God himself speaking, Jesus Christ himself speaking and defining temperature, using temperature to explain spiritual matters. In James chapter 1 verse 9, let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted and increase from lower level to the upper level. Low degree, the rise of temperature. In Psalm 62 verse 9, surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are lie. Underline that, low degree, high degree, to be laid in the balance. Can you see this? To be laid in the balance. That is the instrument, which is thermometer. We're going to get into that later. They are altogether lighter than vanity. You can see the definition here of temperature being carved out from the Holy Scriptures. So you can see that physics, of course, is in the Bible. And let's look at that definition of temperature again. While the earth remained seed time and cold, hence temperature also was defined as a measure of an average kinetic energy of the molecules of a body. It is also that which determines which way heat will flow when two bodies are brought in contact. Let's look at that again in Ecclesiastes 4:11. Again, if two lie together, that means when two bodies are brought in contact, heat will flow. That's what it means. Then they have heat. That is the flow of the heat from one body to another. But how can one be warm alone? That these are facts and realities of the scriptures. So temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the molecules of a body. In Job chapter 6 verse 17, what time they wax warm, they vanish when it is hot. This is the boiling point, which is the hotness of a body. They are consumed out of their place, evaporation. It is also that which determines which way heat will flow when two bodies are brought in contact, which you can see in Proverbs chapter 6 verse 28 and Ecclesiastes 4:11. Let's look at Proverbs 6:28. Can one go upon hot coals and his feet not be burned? Hot coals and his feet not be burned, transfer of heat. So the TRiUNE SI units of measurement when it comes to temperature, we have number 1, the Kelvin, absolute Kelvin. Number 2, the degree Celsius or centigrade. Number 3, the degree Fahrenheit. What are the triune components of temperature when it comes to that definition? Number 1, we have hotness, which is the measure in degrees in Daniel 3:22. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hotness, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. This is hotness. Then we have coldness, the measure of coldness in Matthew 10:42. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he will not in no wise lose his reward. So you can see coldness being captured, hotness being captured. Then number 3, the body, which is the solid body, and which is why from that definition you see that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were the ones thrown into the fire. They became the body. And then if you will give a cup of cold water in the name of a disciple, the body, or the triune components of temperature, you can say the body as a thermometric liquid in the glass thermometer, and then equal divisions in degree, which is the length or distance in between the lower fixed point and upper fixed point. Then we have the coldness or the hotness of a body. On a microscopic scale, temperature is directly related to the motion of the body's molecules, which is why I've always told you in this channel that the summary of physics in one word is motion. The same with Bible, it is motion, movement, pilgrimage from Genesis 1 to Revelation 31. You see that movement, there's always a constant motion throughout the scriptures. Please click on the link displayed above to learn and to understand vividly the concept of motion. Let's consider matter in the form of mass, which is solid, liquid, gas, or plasma. The video has been dropped also. Click on the link and watch for better understanding. Now, in fluids, which is liquid or gas, in which the molecules move about randomly, an increase in the average kinetic speed or kinetic energy of the molecules is manifested as a rise in temperature, or called the rise in temperature, which is motion. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 4:11 again. If two lie together from one body to another, then they have heat. It's a measure of total internal energy of a body. But how can one be warm alone? That is it. The flow, the movement, an increase in the average kinetic speed of the molecules. Then in John 18:18, and the servants and officers stood there, which is the body, who had made a fire of coals, the source of heat, for it was cold. You can see the level of temperature, and they warmed themselves. Underline that is where the transfer is manifested from the fire to the people around. And Peter stood with them, the object, and warmed himself, and there was a transfer of heat to him. In Acts chapter 28 verse 2, the barbarous people showed us no little kindness, for they kindled a fire and received us every one because of the present rain. You can see fire, heat, rain, coldness, and because of the cold, you can see that. In 2 Corinthians 6:14, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. How can you be yoked together? There has to be a distinction between the upper fixed point and the lower fixed point. For what fellowship had righteousness, which is the upper fixed point, with unrighteousness, the lower fixed point? And what communion had light, the upper fixed point, with darkness, the lower fixed point? Can you get this? Which is why the scripture said, let there be distinction, which is the degree of either hotness or coldness of a body. There cannot be a mixture of that. In 2 Corinthians 6:17, wherefore come out from among them. If there is any mixture and your temperature level cannot be confirmed, then you come out from among them and be ye separate. Separate yourself from the lower fixed point, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. For solid bodies, an increase in temperature is associated with the increase in average kinetic energy, or average speed also of vibration of the molecules, since they are tightly bound. Can you see this? Hence, summarily and conclusively, as we round off this episode, you will see that temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the molecules of a body. It is also that which determines which way heat will flow when two bodies are brought in contact. The unit of temperature is always degree Celsius, Kelvin, or degree Fahrenheit. So, and we were able to see that being established in Revelations 3:15 and 16. I know thy works. Him, being the thermometer himself, was able to gauge their temperature level, and he said, I know thy works. Confirmation as an instrument that thou art neither cold, can you see this, coldness, nor hot, which is hotness of a body, temperature, because he, being the thermometer, has measured the temperature level of these people who were in this gathering. I would that thou wert cold, lower fixed point, or hot, which is the upper fixed point, in Revelations 3:16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, which is the average temperature level, the measured point that lies in between the upper fixed point and the lower fixed point, I will spew thee out of my mouth, because those people were not useful. So a temperature level of such kind of degree is not suitable for hotness and is not also suitable for coldness. Hence, in our next episode, we will be treating thermometer as a measuring instrument. Matthew 16:2 and 3. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. Thermometer. And in the morning it will be foul weather. Today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, even without without a thermometer, they were able to design that standing in as an instrument. But can ye not design the signs of the times? So ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today on temperature measurement, specifically the introduction to temperature measurement. Do check back for another interesting episode on the thermometer as a measuring instrument. Don't miss out. It promises to be educative and interesting. Newsflash. So when next you are belly aching about the weather condition to your parents, you are actually talking about body temperature, which means you are basically saying, Mom, Dad, I'm a human thermometer. Isn't that wonderful? Connect to our social media handles at PhysicsBible, the TRiUNE Physics, for latest update. Thanks for joining us. Stay equipped, stay liquid.